to our Matrix Fitness live workout. My name is Matt Gleed. I'm a master trainer here at Matrix in the UK. What we're going to be doing today is a conditioning workout, and we're going to take you through 3 rounds of exercises. Each round of exercises will be done through a second circuit, which means that the first time you don't know the exercise, you'll get to know it for the second time of doing it. And it also means that you can start to either work both sides of the body, or also just try and challenge yourself a little bit harder as well. In terms of how we're going to set this up, it's going to be for 45 seconds of exercise, 15 seconds recovery, and you will just need a little bit of space around you. I've got a mat nearby me which will help me for our second round. But other than that, you really don't need too much equipment at all. So let's begin our warm-up and get you ready for your workout as well. Just start by opening up your arms across your body. We always do this exercise because it's a great way of just mobilizing through the shoulders, especially after waking up and being asleep all night. We want to make sure that you are prepared for the body to be moved and challenged in different ways as well. So just stretching out for the shoulders. Now let's take you into a little rotation. So hands around about shoulder height, just pivoting off from side to side. You can see I'm just coming off onto my foot, just pivoting around from the foot all the way around to the toes. And the hands are around about shoulder height with the elbows rotating behind you. Again, just put a little bit of rotation into the spine, hips, and ankles as well. Now let's take you into a little half squat. So just lower your hips down towards the floor, just starting to get a little bit of range of movement into the hips, the knees, and the ankles as well. And it doesn't have to be too low at the moment, but feel free to start to deepen that squat a little bit lower every repetition, just so you can start to then draw some blood into the thigh muscles that are going to be doing the work, and it can get you prepared for the work that we've got coming up. So nice workout today. We've got some nice heart-raising work at the beginning and at the end. We've got some core focus during the middle, so it should give you a really nice exercise. But you can challenge yourself if you want to as well. Okay, now take an imaginary skip rope for me, and let's just get you pushing off the floor, just to get your heart rates up a little bit more. Start to draw some blood into the calves, because we have got a few options where today you can start to take yourself into some jumping exercises, just for a little bit more of a conditioning workout. But at the same time, I will give you variations to make it a little bit more comfortable if jumping around is not your goal as well. Just start to move the feet from side to side. And then just scissor the feet forwards and backwards as well. Excellent. Okay, let's take into a little punch combination. So bring your hands to the side of your head. Jab, cross, jab. We're going to jump 180 degrees again. Jab, cross, jab. Now, the difference between these straight punches is the jab is going to be with your forward hand, and your cross punch is going to be with your back hand as well. And what I mean by that is the hand that is nearest me is going to be your jab. The hand which is further back is going to be your cross punch. Now, making sure every time you throw these punches, you're pivoting off your feet as well, just to make sure that you're getting the full amount of engagement from all of the body, and you're not starting to twist at the knee. Good, excellent. Okay, just loosening yourself up there. Let's just get into some jumping jacks, starting to get your heart rate up a little bit higher. Now, if you want to push your heart rate up a little bit earlier, then start to take your hands even higher up above your head. So that's the way that you can start to challenge your heart rate a little bit more, or just bring them out to the side. It really does depend on what your focus of the exercise is. As this is a conditioning workout, we're going to be working on the muscles, but you can start to really challenge your body a little bit more by working quicker, harder, or faster at the appropriate times as well. Okay, let's rest there. Let's take it into a knee strike. So what we're going to do is pivot the feet over to one side, reach the hands high, drive your knee up 3 times, and we're going to pivot over to the opposite side, and again, drive your knee up 3 times. Now, as we move through these movements, be dynamic with them as well. Drive the knee up high, so you can really start to keep your heart rates up, and also a big range of movement into the hips will help you, especially on our first couple of exercises as well. Just where we're going to start to take you into some lunges and some squats as well. Let's do these last sides. Okay, and relax there. Now, the first exercise we're going to do, remember this is 45 seconds, it's called a push-off lunge. So starting down into a lunge position, and we're going to just work one side, and we'll do the opposite side on our second circuit as well. So from here, you're going to drive your knee up, reset down towards that lunge position, and then bring it back up again. Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 45 seconds of work. Start to drive that knee up high, keeping your back straight. You can see I'm using my arms to create a little bit of athletic momentum as well. Now, the goal behind this, By using your arms in this way, is you get to help stabilize you a little bit more, but it also means that you can start to control your momentum as well. So de-accelerate that depth of range, but also use your arms to quickly drive your knee up as well. So just pushing off the floor, that's why we got into those little bit skipping movements, just so you can push off that standing foot as you push up high. You can start, hopefully feel your heart rates getting up higher. And relax there. Okay, 15 seconds recovery. Your next exercise is a squat, pulse to cross jump. So here's what it looks like. You squat, pulse, cross jump out. Squat, pulse, cross jump out of it. Okay, 45 seconds of work, let's go. So squat, pulse, cross jump out. So think of it as 2 small squats, and then cross your legs as you jump out of that position. So there's a little bit of agility on the feet, a little bit of coordination. I'm personally swapping my feet over each repetition. But I'll let you know it's halfway now. So if you've been doing one side, just swap the legs over so that they cross in the same direction. Last 10 seconds of work to go. Keep that deep squat down as low as you feel comfortable to go. And again, the speed can be a little bit quicker if you want to push yourself. Okay, rest there. Take it down to the floor for your third exercise. It is called a plank jack. So, in a press-up position, you're going to jump your legs out and narrow. Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hands underneath your shoulders. Jumping your legs wide and narrow while holding a press-up position. Let your eyes look down towards your hands. Keep that strong position going. If you can think about squeezing your quads and your glutes tight together, it's going to brace your core a little bit more. Now, it can feel like it makes the exercise harder. That's not a bad thing. We want you to be strong, we want you to be focused on working hard. Just over 5 seconds to go. And relax there. Okay, that's our first round of exercises. Let's do a second circuit and take it over to the opposite side. So I'm taking myself down into that push-off lunge position with the opposite leg forward. And again, it's a hop forward, driving your knee up high. Let's go for 45 seconds. Push the knee up as high as you feel comfortable to go, using the arms to be athletic as well. Now we start to know the exercises. You can start to try and challenge stuff a little bit more. So a deep lunge, knee comes close to the floor, doesn't have to touch the floor. And again, if it doesn't feel comfortable for you, don't worry too much with how deep your knee goes. But if you can, your gold standard would be that back knee coming close towards the floor, weight equal between both feet, and you push off really strong and high. I love doing this exercise. I think it's a really good one for anybody who plays sports. We're seeing a lot of sports returning over the next week as well. Okay, relax there. Squat, pulse to cross jump. Bit of agility. So feet shoulder width apart. Maybe a little wide if it feels comfortable. Squat, pulse, cross jump out of it, and then back into your next repetition. Again, you can alternate the legs if you'd like to. Let's get you working. Squat, pulse, jump the legs out. Good, and that deep squat position is really important, not only for the mobility, but also to challenge the thigh muscles as well. So keeping your back straight, keep looking towards the screen, especially if it's around about head height out in front of you. If you've got it on a low platform, find something on the wall. Might be a reflection, could be a picture, could be something on a table somewhere. Find something just to help keep your eye line, which will allow you to keep your back a little bit straighter. Okay, relax there. Let's take it down to the floor for our plank jacks. 10 seconds before we start this one. Hands into a press-up position. Legs extended. Remember, squeezing the quads and the glutes gives you a little bit more core work. 3, 2, let's go. So in that press-up strong position, eyes looking down towards the hands. The legs just jump out and narrow. Option on this one. If you start fatigue, you can just be stepping the foot out towards the sides. You've got options all the time. If you would like to add a progression to this one, jumping the hands and the legs can make it a very challenging exercise. So that's your goal if you really want to get after it today. If it's too much for the wrists, keep the wrists stable and just jump the feet. Okay, the last 5 seconds of work to come. And relax there. Okay, now I'm going to get a mat set up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get you ready and down to the floor exercises. So this is our core round. First one, I'm going to ask you to lie down on your back. And we're going to do heel drops. So backs flat into the floor, lower heel towards the floor, and alternate. Let's go straight into these. So this is your option. Now, if you want to make it slightly easier, bend your knee a little bit more. So a couple of things to keep focus on. Knees being above where your hips are. Okay, so that's the standard that we're looking for, and the heels just slowly drop away. The longer the leg, the longer lever length you're working, and that challenges your core a little bit more. For an even increased challenge, reach your arms up, and if you wanted to, you can even lift your shoulder blades off the floor. So you've got options to progress. Got 5 seconds to go. And rest there. Okay, next exercise, what we're going to do is a glute bridge. So we're going to have your knees over the top of your distance between your heel and your hips. Okay, so the knee is in between the heel and the hip. From here, you're going to press your hips up, lower them back down. Let's get going. For 45 seconds, this is your glute bridge. Now you've got a few progressions on this one. Instead of your feet being flat on the floor, you can keep your heels in. If that feels a little bit more comfortable, that's absolutely fine. So either variation, the feet flat onto the floor, may give you a little bit more tension into your hips, where if you dig your heels in, sometimes what happens is you create a little bit more of an angle to extend the hips through a little further. So you've got two choices in terms of your foot position. It can be heels on the floor or feet flat onto the floor. It really does depend on your ankle mobility as to whether it gives you a little bit more range or not. Keep this on going, last repetition. Okay, now sit yourself tall for me. Your last exercise is called a boat pose. So this comes from our Pilates and yoga themes. So holding yourself into a balanced position, extend out into a star, bring yourself back up into a balanced seated position. So boat pose with a star extension and back up. Now the boat pose ideally is keeping you working the whole time. Don't be surprised if you feel a little bit of shaking in your stomach muscles as you're doing this exercise. If you are, then you're probably doing a really good job, because I like to call that the tremor of truth. I know if you're working, if your muscles are shaking as they're doing it, it's a great way to make sure that you are working hard. So just keep that range, extend, bring yourself back together, extend out again. Okay, you've got just over 10 seconds of work to go. And then we go back to our heel drops as well. The last 5, extend, and then back into that boat pose. Now the boat pose is a great exercise, but if you find that it's starting to work your hips quite a bit, no problem, we'll take you through some really good stretches at the end. Having strong hips is one thing, having tight hips is something different. So as long as we do a little bit of flexibility work, you'll be fine. Okay, heel drops. Knees above your hips, lower one heel down towards the floor, and then alternate to the opposite side. Now remember some of the progressions that we went through, where to reach your arms above your head, and if you wanted to extend your shoulder blades off the floor, and if you're going to do this option, keep looking up towards the ceiling or the sky. We want to keep your spine as straight as possible, and if you really need to, you can support the back of your head, especially if you feel a little bit strain coming into the neck. When I say support, you are just literally supporting the weight of your head. You're not trying to hold your head or in any way pull your head forwards as well. Just trying to keep that extension. Other options are going into a 2-leg heel drop as well. Okay, let's relax on that one. Let's get ready for our big bridge. So for this one, it's either feet flat onto the floor or heels dug into the floor. Again, your option on this one, starting in 5, 4, 3, heels press down, hips press upwards. So again, flat spine, press into the floor. That way then each time you lower your hips back down, you come back into what we call a neutral spine. This way your spine is safe It's effective. So just almost resting it in between each repetition. Good. Keep pressing the hips high. Think about digging your heels into the floor, even if you're on a flat foot, making sure that you try to extend your hips fully. If your mind starts to wander at any time, always bring your mind and focus back to extending the hips fully as you press them up towards the ceiling or the sky. Big range of movement is always going to be your goal here. Okay, let's get you ready for that boat pose with the staff. So again, extend. Best way to get making sure you're working really hard. Lower yourself back with a straight spine. When you feel a little bit of shaking, lift your heels up off the floor. And again, they can be rested on the floor if you need to. And then extend into that staff. Bring yourself back into that boat pose. Seeing almost how much of your spine can go down to the floor, but how can you come back out from it? Are you using momentum or are you using your core strength? If you're using momentum, slow it down, or maybe just try and rest your heels and just get used to holding the boat pose. Okay, if you want to make it a little bit harder, that's when you can start to extend your body wide as well. So for the last 10 seconds, take it into a full stop with your arms and legs. Is a great progression, but you need to be able to come up with control as well. Okay, relax there. Let's take the mats out of the way, and we're going to take you up into our cardio-focused round. So we've done a little bit of strength work, we've done a little bit of core. Now we're going to try and challenge your fitness. So we've got a few options here. Let's take you down to a lunge position, and what you're going to do is you're going to jump your lunge from side to side. Now, if this isn't your exercise, then quite simply what you do is a step back lunge just on one leg. Okay, so this is your option, but if you can, starting to take yourself into this jumping movement where you're doing a side-to-side jump. So trying to stay low into this lunge position, you're pushing your feet from side to side, and we're just going to focus on one side. So even if you're doing that step back lunge, you're going to keep working, and then we'll swap it over to your opposite side as well. Last 10 seconds, keep your balance, keep control. Keep working as hard as you feel comfortable as well. Last 5 seconds. And we've got some press-ups coming up, so we're taking you through to the upper body now. Let's take it down to the floor. Now, press-ups can be done on your knees or on your feet. You've got two choices, but my goal for you is to lower your chin, chest, and hips all the way to the floor. So from this position, I'll start you off on my knees. Lower the whole body down. Be strong as you push yourself off. And let's keep these repetitions coming. Keep that strong range going all the time. Excellent. Now, if you wanted to, you could be doing these on the toes. If you need to have a little break at any time, just shake the arms out and then go into that next repetition as well. So try not to stop, but if you need to have a little bit of break from the active work, that's absolutely fine. You hit your intensity. 10 seconds to go. Keep that range going. Be strong as you lower down towards the floor. And relax there. Okay, let's bring you back up to a standing position. Now, this is our third and final exercise, but don't forget, we're doing this circuit a second time coming around. It's called a breakdown. I want you to be in an athletic position, running on the spot. When I say go, you touch the floor, bring yourself back into position. So let's get you running on the spot, and go, touch the floor, then come back to me as quick as you can. Each time when I say that magic word,